Hello and welcome to Mr. Husband, the podcast where we talk about a host of manly issues from a husband's perspective. My name is Gabe.
And this is Will.
We are bringing the energy yet again.
Bring the energy.
I like to before we begin any podcast, I like to visualize myself drinking a big gulp of coffee.
Or just bathing in coffee.
Bathing in coffee.
Of coffee. That'd be nice.
Or coffee and a turkey baster and who knows what. But that's going to result in some high caffeine energy. Woo! But we got a big announcement today.
Yeah.
I guess.
Wait, we or you? You do.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's for both of us. But anyway, so it looks like Vera and I have a new house in Torrance to move into.
Woo! Congratulations.
I say it with so much excitement.
Come on. What happened to the energy? The pool of
Well, I covered this in a previous podcast, but I was very excited to move into a new house because it was going to be really close to Vera's work. This is why we did it. But it was going to be turnkey. And then somehow we managed to buy a house that needs extensive renovation.
It doesn't turn as easily.
It's going to be at least 6 months to turn this freaking key. So, and it's I went from being unemployed, just doing, a podcast, and now it's I'm going to be a general contractor, basically.
There you go, man.
Hiring all these
Add
guys
that to the resume.
It's.
Although it must be fairly exciting. I'll kind of reserve that for myself. If I was in a situation, I'd be like, oh, this could be kind of cool. Some projects to take care of.
See, Will, you are not a pessimist like me. You look at a situation and think, look at all the great ways. Look at all the ways this is great. And I look at a situation and I will find fault in things.
Well,
show me a picture of Jessica Alba, and I will be look, but I don't know about her hair or whatever.
I guess granted, I haven't actually done any level of extensive home renovations or fixer-upper like you have, so
I have watched extensive hours of HGTV, Will.
Right.
Perhaps 7 months of my entire life. 7 months of waking hours watching HGTV over the years.
Have you always liked HGTV? I guess it's a good channel to watch.
It's the guilty pleasure channel for me. I often hate watch. It will be that's the ugliest thing, and then I'm let's watch another episode. And now that these shows are on Netflix, wow,
it's easy to watch.
Yeah, too easy.
Well, still, congratulations.
Thank you. We did a lot of signing today.
Right.
And I had to sign 30 times, and my signature was never the same. It looked like 30 different people signed it.
Fake signatures.
I was cramping up. I need to go to a masseuse. It's hard.
Gotta get the hand massaged. But don't look at me because I'm not gonna do it. Why does it when you say stuff like massage, it just sounds so erotic? But I don't know
what you're talking about.
To be.
Just sounds clinical to me.
It's just my own twisted mind. Anywho, well, yeah. So we've kind of jumped to this, but you guys are officially getting a new home.
We are.
We talked a little about HGTV. Let's meld those two together.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to talk a little bit today about the one of at least Christine and my favorite show, and I think
certainly Christine's favorite show.
Christine loves this thing,
and Vera and I watch the show. We enjoy it.
You guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
You guys, but you guys
Well, we need to say the name of the show. This is a little too much hype.
Yeah, I was trying to draw it out.
Okay. Go ahead.
No. We'll call it. But you guys recently got into the show as well, right?
We did. Okay. We did.
So the show is Fixer Upper.
Fixer Upper.
I feel like it's the only show that people should be watching on HGTV.
And it's on Netflix.
Oh, it is.
Which I didn't know if you were aware of. Yeah.
Anyway, so Fixer Upper, and
give us a summary of the show.
Christine is the biggest fan of the show, which I love. I mean, I love that she loves the show because it sort of inspires her in different ways to do stuff around the house. But anyways, the premise of the show is you have this couple based out of Waco, Texas.
Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Chip and JoJo. And basically, it's just around the Waco market, they'll, bring on clients to find a home, right, that could use a little bit of love. It's I think the whole premise is find homes that need a little love, a little maybe run down.
The worst house on the block.
Worst house on the block in the most desirable neighborhoods. And then they come in and sort of renovate it.
They make it your dream home.
And let me tell you, man, it is, some of the stuff they do is pretty damn dreamy.
And they are rebranding Waco. Let me say that. Because when I used to think of Waco, I thought of, cults and explosions. But now I think of shiplap.
Shiplap and Alico. I don't know if there's this like building that has the Alico sign a lot. That comes up a lot. See, that's like the only thing that
You're a little more expert than me.
No. Well, like I'll go as far to say that like we like the show so much that earlier this year we went to Texas. We flew into Austin. We spent most of the time in Austin, but we made it a point to rent a car and drive out to Waco to go visit the silos, which is like the storefront for Chip and Joanna, and like hang out there for a good hour and a half. Then we went over to what's the her friend's name who does all the woodwork.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
See, this show's been over. This season's been over.
He builds
for a
a
while.
lot of kitchen islands.
Yeah, like benches and kitchen tables.
Yeah, and she weathers them. She paints them white, and she sands them down.
Oh, it's gonna be really annoying. Anyways, we visited that spot too, which is like a completely separate business, and yeah, like we love. Well, Christine loves the show, and I really enjoy the show. So
we just did an episode about cheating, and I feel like Chip might be the most likely candidate for Christine to cheat on with. But yeah, just pointing that out. Sorry, Christine, don't want to throw you under the bus, but Chip is a great guy.
He's very likable.
Oh, he's so likable. Vera follows him on Instagram. He's a great follow.
Yeah, and Christine does that. Like, she's following everyone on Instagram, like like from the actual HGTV like show Instagram.
The cameraman.
The cameraman. Literally the camera. I think like a producer who does like some behind the scenes like shots.
Sometimes you see the person holding the clipboard.
Yeah. And then obviously Joanna and Chip. And then there's like Magnolia Realty. Like she follows
They're an empire. I want to invest in them.
Christine does joke. She's like, if I can get a job working with Joanna Gaines, I would move to Texas.
You should just move to Texas because Waco is super cheap. This is like perhaps the best thing about the show is they'll be like, this house is a major stretch for this couple. And like, you know, they have like, anyways, the house is like $100,000.
Right.
And they do this extensive renovation and it's like 75 grand.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy like what they're able to do. And I guess like we should talk a little bit about so very clearly we happen to enjoy the show. Both you and I, Christina and Vera. We should probably preface that like we're not being paid by HGTV.
No, and I will freely admit I don't really like their style. It's certainly not like what I would do. I like the couple. I like their chemistry, their repertoire.
Right.
Is that the right word? Whatever.
Just the nature of their relationship.
Yeah,
their chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think like we definitely like I think the same thing. Like I think what we enjoy first and foremost is the people, like the actual Chip and Joanna Gaines, and like their kids who happen to be on the show as well. And like, I don't know, like when I think of classic, down to earth, wholesome, just like family values type, like in the modern day, like that's who I think about.
They're your archetype.
Yeah. It's like a diverse, like a multicultural, interracial marriage.
I'm just trying to imagine if I'm listening to this podcast right now and I'm like, what the hell is this TV show? Well, watch the show, but I hope this is interesting to you regardless.
It's a good show. Check it out.
It's a good show.
And
there's a lot of design lessons, I think, in there.
Yeah.
She definitely has like her go-to things. I mentioned the shiplap. If the house has shiplap, which is just basically like horizontal wood walls, she paints those white. She paints everything white. Yeah. She hangs like old furniture on the wall. She loves like taking antique objects, and like hanging them on the wall.
Yeah, like the like in all of their renovation styles, I feel like majority of it's like this sort of like rustic, chic sort of approach to design and interior design.
Yes.
So if you like that stuff, check out the show. It's great.
But it has given me a false sense of the ease at which renovation, renovations aren't actually easy, but certainly it looks easy when it's done in 30 minutes.
Right. And one of the things that they do on the show regularly is they have like a demo day where they go in like sort of just break down walls and like take out old cabinets. For your guys' new place, do you think there'll be some level of demoing?
Oh, yeah.
And if there is, I'd like to be invited.
Oh, certainly. We'll have you sign a waiver. But yeah, no, totally. I would love your muscles taking apart my crappy kitchen. That would be lovely. I welcome that. I won't pay you, but I will let you like destroy my house.
Will there be lunch?
Oh, I'll give you lunch.
All right. I think that's good enough. Lunch and the ability to just break stuff down. I think that's good enough for me.
I will say, like, my conservative family is very like, whatever you think it's going to cost, however long it's going to take, your renovation is going to take twice as long and cost twice as much. But like, I am already a conservative, worrying person. So like, no, the renovation is not going to take 2 years. It costs $1 million. It's like, off. Oh my God, I just swore I got to edit that out. Okay.
It's all right. Anyways, that is Fixer Upper. Check it out. But again, very timely since you guys have secured a new home.
Yes.
That needs a little Fixer Upper love. So kind of switching gears a little bit here, this idea of converging as one. And I think you kind of put it nicely, which is what? Like, how would you define this next topic or this idea we want to talk about?
I don't know. Did I put it nicely? I think, the idea, we wanted to explore the idea that when you get married or, when you're spending all this time with someone, do you kind of like morph into like the same person? Do you change? Do you compensate? Do you lose the differences?
Yeah, like this idea of like just becoming more similar as a couple. Like as a husband, you have your own habits and tendencies, your own ideas and beliefs. Your wife or your spouse has their own set of ideas. And just like through the course of time, like through the relationship, like somehow you guys start to like slowly converge towards being, I don't know if the same person's the right word, but like there are parts of you that just sort of rub off on the other person.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to think like, how does this actually happen, right? I mean, obviously you're spending a lot of time with them.
A lot of time.
Like a lot of time. So I think naturally, I guess anytime you spend a lot of time with anyone, like they'll start to rub off on you. Although I don't know if that's necessarily always true. I think it's when you're around someone that you want to be around or that you enjoy like their presence in the company.
Well, yeah, but if I was in prison, I mean, I'd probably like 3 months in have some tattoos and shave my head.
You think so?
You gotta like, match the scenery or whatever.
I could never imagine you, even if I gave you 3 months in jail, coming out.
Well, if it was like hardcore prison,
really,
you got to do it. Otherwise,
just
you're
gonna,
get hurt.
I feel like that's like a unique case because your life depends on it.
But yeah, with your marriage, not to compare a marriage to prison, you're spending a lot of time with someone. You're also like inevitably not spending as much time with other people. So it seems logical.
Yeah.
It's like, would you say that you have become more like Christine?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are like certain things, and we can like give some examples. Like, it's a very simple example: the hand sanitation. When I first met Christine, like she would break out the hand sandy, right? The hand sandy little tube thing. And every time before our meal, it's like I'd be like, wow, like she's very diligent, committed to the whole hand sanitation. Sure enough, roughly a year after we first dated, like we would sit down, we'd order food, and I'd be the one asking her for the hand sandy. And it's like a moment of pride and accomplishment, I feel like, for Christine.
Once you go hand sanitizer, you can't go back.
Right.
I'm not there, but I just feel like the moment you start sanitizing your hands, it's really, really hard to switch back.
Yeah. I mean, I was the sort of person who would, I guess, if I knew my hands were somewhat dirty, like I would just go to the bathroom. Yeah. I don't even do that anymore. I just sit there. The convenience of sitting at a table.
Do you even shower, or do you just spread hand sanitizer all over your body?
That would be a nice thought if they had that available. Well, I do shower.
Okay, good. Thank you for clarifying that on the record.
But yeah, that's just one example. How about you? Anything where like you've rubbed off on her, or Vera's sort of rubbed off on you?
So at first, I was like, "Oh yeah, we've totally become like similar."
Yeah.
Right, and then I was like, as I was preparing for this episode, Vera came home and I asked her, like, what do you think, right? And she was like, yeah, okay, like in some ways, sure. But I feel like, anyways, I wrote down some notes. Like, she was like, well, you're still like really neurotic, and she hasn't become neurotic.
Mm-hmm. Right? Not even the slightest.
Yeah, and I'm still like likely, like I'll get like depressed every 2 weeks. That doesn't happen to her. She's like, you still need time alone. She doesn't really need as much time alone. Mm. She's like, calls her family all the time. I call my family on my birthday, so it's not, well, that sounds a little extreme, but the point is, we're getting to a dark place. But like, in some ways, we're very distinct and different.
I see. But
in other ways, it's like this whole thing, like we spend a lot of time together. Like for instance, I think the theme is that like I am Vera is becoming more like me in certain ways that have become interesting. Not all of which I'm even proud of, but like she said that like before she would just watch on TV like whatever was on, but now she's like very thoughtful about what she watches, and she's very critical. Like before she could watch like an episode and just be like, yeah, it was fun. And now she's like, well, I don't know about that like plot twist, and this secondary storyline isn't really that helpful to
She's doing a deeper analysis.
Yeah, she's way more critical of the world. I think I have that's like the summary is that I think I have made my wife more critical.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
Not a good thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's fine. I think having well, why don't we break it down like this? It's like her having like really good analytical skills to break down situations.
This is true.
I'm trying to put a positive spin on this for you.
That's great.
But the more I think about it, I do feel like I think the ways in which we become more like our partners or spouses is less about ideas and beliefs, and it's actually more about just like habits. Because like to your point, like Vera was able to call out things where like you're still like very, very much you.
Yeah.
And I think that fundamentally comes down to more about like your ideas or beliefs or values on things.
Yeah, she still goes to church every week.
Yeah. And like each person can like still hold on to that without loss of that sort of identity. But like where you do converge is I think more around habits. Like one example on the way in which I guess I sort of rub off on Christine is like she's had like an explosion of interest and passion for sports since we've been dating and especially since we've been married. And like she loves to follow everything now. Like
that is a major husband accomplishment.
Like the biggest accomplishment was like I can understand like especially here being in LA, basketball, yeah, right? The Lakers and the Clippers, and so it's easy to kind of get into the excitement and like discussions about those teams. And it's very like a Hollywood thing to do anyways. So like I think everyone here in LA just does it. And to some extent, same thing with the Dodgers. But then like football, like for the longest time, there was no NFL team here in LA. But somehow I managed to rub off my interests and enjoyment for watching football. And like she's all into it. Like she's like, I can't wait for the season to start. And she's asking me like, when's the opening day? Like she's pretty hardcore there.
That's pretty awesome.
Which I love. I love that she can enjoy it as much as I do.
That's really good. Vera got a little bit into basketball during the playoffs.
That's right. Yeah.
Like during the finals, that was cool. I think one other way that like Vera has definitely gotten more into inanimate objects. Like she like decorating per se. Like her previous apartments were just like white walls,
very
clean, simple. Whereas I'm like, oh no, we need to make it like really, really nice. We gotta like get these things and curate, and it's gotta look really good.
Right. Do you have
all of these things that I am turning her into? They're all not good. I'm making her more materialistic and more shallow, and maybe she shops less. She shops less for like clothes. She's less into like designer clothes. Booyah!
Well, that's a positive. There you go. That's a good way.
But I think that's probably her just growing up too. So I don't even know if I can take credit for that.
Well, you should while you can. Yeah, and just kind of final thought from here is, if you do become a little bit more like your spouse and they become more like you, like to some extent, you're almost creating a third person, which is like the combined you. Like
you need a name for that.
You as a unit,
like the Brangelina.
Right.
What would yours be?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like I don't know if we really like advertise this, but at our wedding we did this whole like Team Quick thing.
Oh yeah. I should remember this
Quick.
Considering that I officiated the wedding.
Yeah, so the Team Quick.
Okay.
But I do feel like to some extent, like people have used it in that way, like as a noun. Yeah, whatever, right?
You're asking the wrong person.
Like they'll say like, "Hey, Team Quick." Like they won't say, "Hey, Will" or "Hey, Christine." They'll be, "Hey, Team Quick." Like, are you coming out to this event?
Which we should explain is your initials.
Oh yes. Yeah. Sorry for people who don't know what Quick stands for. It's just like an acronym of KWWK, which is just the initials of our names.
Yeah.
But there's this semblance of Like when you converge that much and when you share as much as you do, like creating a new identity for the two of you.
I think that's true. And, like maybe that's good in some ways.
Right.
But I do feel like, I was thinking recently, I was like, wow, like when was the last time I saw one of my friends without my wife there? And like there are certain social circles that I'm in where like I haven't seen like basically I exist only with my wife.
Right.
Like we are a unit. And so it's not always the case. I do lots of things by myself, but it's just like it's worth
those
noting.
social settings.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Felt like an earthquake.
I know something was like rattling and shaking.
It means nothing to our listeners, but it's just been my dog like deciding to fall on her side and give up and sleep.
It is kind of warm today.
Yeah.
In any event, I think that's it. I know our intention for this episode was kind of keep it short and sweet, because unbeknownst to some of our listeners, we're having some issues with the storage space in the cloud. So we got to do a couple of these episodes a little bit on the shorter side.
Yeah. So instead of just moving on to the next podcast, for the next 10 minutes, rate us on iTunes, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Leave us comments. Just like meditate on how great this podcast is and send out good vibes. Or listen to the first 10 minutes of this episode again.
Just download a bunch of stuff so our analytics look good. You don't even have to listen.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. And again, we're going to keep this short. So until next time.
Peace out, husband.
Peace out. Oh, by the way, sorry, one last thing. I feel like every episode I'm going to end with this one rant thought.
Okay.
Which is peace out, husbands and
wives.
Wives, and please use your turn signals when you drive. I'm gonna promote that heavily.
Each time you're gonna say, use your turn signal.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, use your turn signals when you drive.
I don't know if I approve of that.
Well, it's going on this one.
Okay, it's on this one. You win. Peace.